some good news for you. Amen. Listen. Hey, everybody, gather near.
Oh, yeah.
The doctor's in the house, so lend him your ear. The things he can say might even make your day. He might even help your pain go away. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house.
Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor is in the house, and I hope I am giving you some good advice on what to do. Good day, everybody. This is Dr. Ron, host of Dr. Ron Unfiltered, Uncensored. We'll give a shout out to all those good people down at Shipley Manor in Delaware. Big help this week with some personal issues. And shout out to everyone that continues to download these podcasts. It's really humbling. And I do have an attitude of gratitude. I'm very grateful, even though we did not produce a show last week, that the downloads continued. And they continue on Apple and Google Podcasts and Spotify, iHeartRadio, and iTunes Radio. So very, very much. And since things are a bit hectic, I just want to bring to you today a few issues. Look, it's really important that you become the CEO of your own body, make decisions, and listen to your body. And I keep saying this. I've been saying this for a year now. Allopathic medicine is failing. It's a leading cause of death in the United States. In 1998, researchers concluded that properly prescribed and correctly taken pharmaceutical drugs were the fourth leading cause of death in the United States. 2 years later, Dr. Barbara Starfield published her groundbreaking paper titled Is U.S. Health Really the Best in the World? And she provided data at that time showing that medical errors by doctors were the third leading cause of death. And it's really sad to say little has changed. Little has changed. In 2016, Johns Hopkins safety experts there calculated that more than 250,000 patients died each year from medical errors, again, making that the third leading cause of death. In 2022, the NIH, the National Institute of Health, concluded that annual death toll from medical errors could be as high as 440,000. Now, look, I'm not here to tell you that doctors are all the problem. We have the best emergency care around, but we do not know how to treat chronic conditions. And those over 65, 85% of them have chronic conditions. We have completely failed. The paradigm of a pill for an ill is completely fallacious. And you get one pill and then you get a second pill to take care of the side effects of the first pill, etc. So we are losing years off our life. And the idea is we want to have more years as we extend our life. We want to have more healthy years. And don't let people say it was COVID. Something odd happened in 2020 and 2021 that shaved nearly 3 years off the life expectancy in the United States. That's a lot. The media will say it's COVID, but that doesn't make any sense because the average age of those who die from COVID was about 85, well over the life expectancy in 2019. This is due to younger people dying decades earlier than they should be. So let's continue to watch what we eat, how we think, the people we hang around with. be careful of our lifestyle choices so we can extend our lives. Well, in 1938, Superman made his first appearance in comic books. And guess what gas cost at that time? 10 cents a gallon. But people were making $1,730 a year. But something else happened that year. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, he signed a law known as the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. And some people think that was probably the last time that regulators gave a thought to doing anything about ensuring that cosmetics, including personal care products, were actually safe to use. But since then, the industry itself policed itself. So the proverbial fox was sent out to guard the henhouse. One expert says that cosmetics are even less regulated than pesticides. And it's not that they don't get a lot of complaints. It's reported that health complaints sent to the FDA for cosmetic products are at record highs. What do they know in Europe that we don't? In Europe, the EU has already gotten rid of 1,300 unsafe chemicals that are used in cosmetics. Must be something. One is propylparaben, which you'll find in shampoos, conditioners, creams, lotions, and even shower soaps. And there's a whole slew of these chemicals that are used as preservatives. Anything ending in paraben, P-A-R-A-B-E-N, would be one. And not only can they be absorbed through the skin, but they are linked to cancer, reproductive harm, disruption of every hormone-producing gland in the body. What's the largest organ of your body, everybody? It's your skin. Another is this quaternarium 15, which is known to release potent carcinogen formaldehyde. And it turns up in hair products, lotions, and shaving creams. So letting the fox guard the henhouse isn't such a good idea, is it? The president of the Environmental Watch Group describes it as a fake police force with no authority. So we have to take control of this, right? Well, that's only the tip of the iceberg. These chemicals are easily absorbed. You got to remember that. Easily absorbed through your skin. And just because something is only going onto your face or body, that doesn't mean it can't cause a laundry list of health problems, ranging from skin irritation to thyroid dysfunction and even cancer. Add to that, a lot of these care products are coming from China. Do you think they care really what they put into these products? Do you think they are aware of the toxic ingredients that they use? And if they are aware of them, do they care? So the FDA may be a little too late. So we have to be aware of this. So when you're shopping for shampoos and hair conditioners and shaving creams and shaving lotions or anything else you put on your body, look for products that are plant-based, colors, moisturizers that utilize coconut, shea butter, S-H-E-A butter, and other natural ingredients, and stay clear of the ones that sound more like they belong in a high school chemistry lab, not in your bathroom. And I continue to promote the Environmental Working Group, EWG. EWG.org has a section called Skin Deep. Take a look, save your skin, maybe save your life. So the Defender had an article recently also. The title of the article was After Lead, Arsenic, and Formaldehyde, What's Found in Cosmetics. And the article said that basically states are upping their game, not the federal government, but the state governments. And guess what? They found levels of hazardous chemicals, including lead and arsenic, in Dark Tint CoverGirl Clean Fresh Press Powder Foundation, CoverGirl Continuous Color Lipstick, Markwin's Beauty Brands Black Radiance Press Powder Foundation, or other products containing lead. Companies, they say, are adding preservatives like formaldehyde to cosmetic products. This came from a toxic researcher at Washington State Department of Ecology. Quote, lead and arsenic are different stories. They're detected as contaminants. So at least it's getting noticed and getting reported. The Washington Report's author said the European countries ban products like Dark Tint CoverGirl Foundation. Remember, we just talked about that. That's because arsenic and lead have been linked to brain and nervous system damage and cancer. There is no known safe level of lead exposure. No safe level of lead. Now, it's low, but cumulatively, it adds up to a lot. I don't remember exactly, but I think the level of arsenic that a woman absorbs into their body from lipstick over their lifetime is about a pound or something like that. Incredible amount. And they picked up a lot of other chemicals besides formaldehyde that you can't remember. But just remember, when you see formaldehyde, it's one of those chemicals that the embalmers use before funerals. Can't be good. So it looks like the states are going to step up where the federal government is not. So, ladies and gentlemen, be the CEO of your own body. Okay? Don't depend on other people to look out for you. So it's going to be hard to find a lot of these things on the label. So maybe as we shop for our foods, we should shop for our chemicals. And the fewer the ingredients, the better it would be. Less is more. And just to remind you that there still is a report out about vitamins and minerals. And the headline is 0 deaths from vitamins, 0 deaths from minerals. This is now from the 39th annual report of the American Association of Poison Control Centers that showed that no deaths from any vitamin at all. So don't let people bully you. There's a lot of vitamins being taken and no deaths. I was looking for a number. Yeah, here it is. 80 billion doses annually and no deaths. That's if you only took one vitamin a day. That's pretty significant, huh? And everybody demonizes vitamins. All right, so I just hope to get point across to you. And when we come back next week, we're going to definitely talk about frequencies, the future of medicine, which is right now. And I hope not to miss much in the future. But Albert Einstein was the one that said future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. And there is an uptick in the interest on frequencies. There's lots of machines out there, not all real, but there's lots of machines and people using frequency treatments. It's really experiencing a renaissance right now. Some of them are, the sad part, some are fake. Some are not the miracles they should be, but frequency medicine done properly does work. Einstein had a vision of medicine. About 120 years ago, he proposed the theory of mass energy equivalence, that famous formula of E equals mc squared. That was the theory of relativity. And it really means that energy is matter. So it's been all that time. Why aren't we using more of it? Well, you heard Dr. Jerry Smith weeks ago say, the FDA and the government closed down a lot of these. And they closed down Dr. Rife because he was curing cancer and other diseases. They destroyed his equipment and his life. And it is true that science has not progressed as much as Einstein or Tesla or Royal Rife would have liked it to be. But we do have a field now of bioenergetics, and we're going to be talking about that and how it's available to you. Dr. Becker, he was an orthopedic surgeon, wrote lots of books on how electricity and electromagnetic forces affect our bodies. He became a pioneer in the field of bioelectricity and bioelectromagnetism. He showed actually that limb regeneration in limbs that have been amputated of frogs and salamanders were controlled by electromagnetic forces. The animals have a bio. The Body Electric. That was his first book, The Body Electric. And then other scientists discovered that the DNA sends its signals throughout the body by photons that travel at incredible speeds. So we can't ignore it. We have to talk about it. And if you do talk about it, you're probably going to be considered a quack. But you know what? It's a good thing today because we've been lied to by the government for the past 3 years at least. You see how that's coming out now. You see how much money they, as Woody Harrelson calls them, the pharmaceutical cartels, how much they're making, how much they're charging for drugs. It's really immoral. And most of the physicians are now employed, and their employers are big conglomerates. But frequencies are fundamental to everything. Everything has a frequency. And we're going to have to take time and explain each part of waves and frequencies and amplitude. And we'll even get into music because sound is a frequency. It involves vibration. And we have to always talk about EMFs, and It's fundamental, right, to all living organisms. But the type that we're exposed to, like from our routers and televisions and computers, has not been. It's much higher intensity and for longer periods of time than the body's used to, and it's not coherent. The body likes things to be, in sync. And a lot of this electromagnetic energy is out of sync, and it is associated with diseases. So this is what I want to talk about starting next week. Starting to have a few shows in succession on electromagnetic fields, the biofield, photon therapy, biophoton therapy, and how it affects our health and our DNA. And have you ever heard of Schumann resonances? Well, you should have. And if you haven't, it's because it's not talked about, and only in passing in school. It's the pulse of the earth. It's the fundamental frequency of the earth. 7.5 hertz. Remember that. 7.5 hertz. The fundamental frequency of the earth is a Schumann resonance. Water has a bunch of independent molecules, right? But they have a fourth phase of water discovered by Professor Gerald Pollack called easy water. It has an electromagnetic field. That's actually the water in our cells. It's the one that can transmit information. So, ladies and gentlemen, please watch out for your cosmetics. Okay, let's talk about energy medicine. And, we haven't talked about Moringa, Moringa, in quite a while. And we want to also always keep you up to date on what's new with coconut oil, how to keep your mind operating at peak efficiency. Do get a good night's sleep. Turn off the Wi-Fi, please. Exercise your brain, please. That's really important. Eat your blueberries and avocados. Oh, there's something I should tell you. And that is the salmon, the farm salmon. Consider that a junk food as of right now. It's a disaster for the environment. It's a disaster for your health. And tests have shown that farm salmon is about 5 times more toxic than any other food tested. Let's get rid of the Atlantic salmon and eat Alaskan salmon, not Atlantic salmon. There's pesticides in Atlantic salmon. There's antibiotics in Atlantic salmon. The dry pellets they feed are a source of toxins containing dioxin, PCBs. And they have a horrible nutritional profile when it comes to free fatty acids. You talk about marine lipids and lipid profile. It's so high in omega-6. So let's get rid of farm salmon and junk food, and any farm fish, really. It is really junk. It is toxic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Dr. Ron. Hey, everybody out there in Delaware. Glad to have met you, and stay tuned, and we'll bring you some more interesting tidbits next week. Have a great week.
Hey everybody, Dr. Ron's finished for today. I hope you got some good wisdom for what the man had to say. If it's all about good health, He's the man you got to see. He has a lot more answers for you. So tune in next week when the doctor is in the house. Or when the doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. I'm sure he can tell you just what to do. The doctor is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Let the doctor know what's bothering you. When the doctor is in the house. So if you have a pain, call the doctor. If you have a strain, call the doctor. And let the doctor know what's bothering you. Or when the doctor is in